Welcome to Austin's beloved Petty Looking Inn,
Whispers of Disaster.
You catch me by surprise! Aha! Aha! Welcome to Austin's beloved Petty Looking Inn,
Whispers of Disaster. Whispers of Disaster. Whispers of Disaster.
Hi, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. It's March 13th, 2008. Hi, it's March 13th, 2008. Thank you for watching. Check it out. There are whispers of disaster everywhere. There are
Whispers of Disaster everywhere. There are whispers of disaster everywhere. I'm really sure there are whispers of disaster everywhere.
on March 13th. As you probably know, the economic news is well, what do you think of this, like, post-apocalyptic America that the right has left us? Okay, it could be worse, but wow, like almost all Americans, like the vast majority of Americans, I consider the entire kind of like primer of how the right wants to run America. We had a primer. We had a primer of what I guess right-wingers thought we should be doing, or at least they tried, they instituted their wonderful policies, and now you see America is like a post-apocalyptic wasteland, right? I mean, politically, okay? I hope your life is going well, but you must say politically, of course, everybody's wondering, everything from A to Z, we're all wondering, are the votes going to be counted? Are the votes going to be counted? Will we ever get our government back? Wouldn't you say that's the anxiety of, I guess the only people spared this anxiety are those blissful 20%ers, apparently now 19%ers. This just in, George Bush's popularity is now, was, the last I checked, it was, well, like a terminal patient at 19%, so there's just no question of what we want, and there's no question that by now the right had their way of us. I guess, oh, how would you describe that right-wing thing we just had, baby? Oh, yeah, well, we had, ooh, I hate to think about it, but I keep having flashbacks. We all keep having flashbacks. When the right was in control, first of all, they were just insufferably smug. They were just like nauseatingly and impossibly smug. The right was, among other things, they just have no idea how creepy they are. I'm sorry, the right, we love you, but you have no idea how creepy you are. And they were feeling smug as a bug. They were as smug as two bugs when they thought they had the whole thing under control. Thank God, fate pulled the rug out from under them. Mr. Logan is unsuccessfully attempting to mime his glee that fate has pulled the rug out from under the Republicans so very quickly. Oh, I'm sorry. We lost focus. We were talking about how bad it is. We were talking about my friends. But it was like, okay, I'm sorry, but to me, having the right in control of America was kind of like a prolonged sadistic rape.
I tell you, I'm so glad the back of Republican control has been broken in America. The back of the control of the degenerate right-wingers. The Republican Party, the most corrupt group of people since Genghis Khan.
Whispers of disaster, tough times ahead. Okay, March 13th, 2008. Can anyone deny there are tough times ahead? I'm sorry, the economic news, the bad economic news goes on and on. Listen.
A vicious and premeditated class warfare is being waged today against the American middle class. The housing market is imploding more horribly than at any time since the Great Depression. Poverty is increasing, and tens of millions of people are working longer hours for lower wages. The statistics on income distribution in the U.S. are staggering in their inequality. They are staggering in their inequality. They are staggering enough to drive you mad, 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 mad.
The top 1% of Americans earned more income than the bottom 50% of Americans, with the top 300,000 earners making more money than the bottom 150 million, while the top earning 0.01% received an average income increase of $4.4 million in 2005. The bottom 90% saw their average income decline by about $172. Oh no!
Whispers of disaster, whispers of despair. The United States has the highest rate of childhood poverty of any major company.
Since George Bush has been president, nearly 5 million more Americans have slipped into poverty, 8.6 million have lost their health insurance, 3 million have lost their pensions, and median family income has declined by about $2,500.
Whispers of disaster, whispers of disaster, whispers of disaster, whispers of disaster, whispers of disaster.
A two-income family has less disposable income today than a one-income family did 30 years ago. Housing is home foreclosures are now the highest on record. More and more workers are now spending more than half of their limited incomes for housing, leaving less for basic needs. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so, but that's just a taste of it. You know, anytime you look at the facts, you realize the whole conservative thing has come a cropper. The whole neocon thing has come a cropper. It would appear that right-wing policies produce the opposite of the desired effect. Right, GW? That's right, Perry. Hi, this is George W. Bush, the most detested and hated president ever. I want to remind you, I wasn't really elected. That's why I'm flipping you the bird. I wasn't really elected. That's why I'm flipping you the bird. Don't forget, I'm a traitor. Republicans are traitors. They're all traitors. Traitors. Thank you. This is George W. Bush of Satan Rules. Join me, fellow Republicans, in my worship of the Horned One. Join me, fellow Republicans, in my worship of the Horned One. Satan moves. Satan moves. Satan moves. Well, you see, everything turns out just the opposite of what right-wingers think. Don't you notice that everything just turns out 180 degrees the opposite of what right-wingers think? You can take it to the bank. My friends, you can take it to the bank, assuming any of the banks survive the upcoming economic crash. Crash. Hi, this is George W. Bush, slowly turning into a monster before your eyes. I, George W. Bush, the most right-wing president ever, the most right-wing president ever, morphing into a monster in front of your eyes as you see your country crumble, as you see your country hated throughout the world, as you see your country creating gulags all over the world, the torture capital of the world, the elections rotten to the core, incompetent Bush cronies running the government. This is George W. Bush morphing into a monster right in front of your eyes. I, like all Republicans, am a traitor.
anyone follow this show? Is anyone else having trouble following this show? Is anyone else having trouble following this show? This show makes no sense.
Many people are having trouble following the show, so we are going to review the show so far. That was the show so far. I feel better already. Now, back to Austin's beloved Perry Logan in
Whispers of Disaster. Whispers of
Thank you for watching. Hello, thank you for watching. It's March 13th, 2008. And, you know, I try to be optimistic, but we all know that the world is now filled, the country is filled with whispers of disaster. Whispers of disaster. Bummer. What a bummer! Hi, this is John McCain. Satan rules. Hi, this is John McCain. I've just recovered from my latest tantrum. I, John McCain, have just recovered from my latest tantrum, and I want you to know that it doesn't torture me to be hugging and kissing the worst goddamn president in the history of this republic. And I, John McCain, Satan rules, am carrying the banner for the losing side. Hi, this is John McCain, my face melting as I carry the banner for the losing side in 2008 and go to bat with the people who smeared the living hell out of me and my family. This is John McCain. Last thing in the world you want during the next Great Depression is a Republican president. Now back to Perry. Oh, thank you, John McCain. And thank you for carrying the banner for the losing side in 2008. Let's hear it for John McCain and everything carrying the banner. Apparently, it doesn't bother John that the people he's hugging and kissing and smooching and, you know, yeah, those people that John McCain is like, in case you didn't know, John McCain is now going with Republicans who once smeared the dickens out of him and his family. Oh, that must really torture him, huh? Yeah. Well, as John just told us, you see, the last thing you want during the next Great Depression is a Republican in charge. Mr. Logan is spontaneously miming the thought that the last thing you want during the next Great Depression is having a Republican in charge. And now, Austin's beloved Perry Logan sings, the last thing you want during the next Great Depression is having a Republican in charge. The last thing you want during the next Great Depression. Hey, the last thing we want during our next Great Depression, brought on by this whole, like, right-wing is prolonged sadistic rape of a right brain in power. Let's face it, the right wing being in control in America was like nothing other than a prolonged sadistic rape. No, the last people we want in charge as these whisperings of disaster. You can't help but hear it now, can you? Gold is going up and the dollar is crashing, and I think the dollar hit another record in relation to the yen. I think it's losing value in relation to the yen. You know the thing. Dreary economic news. You know what's going to happen now. The Democrats will be put back into control. Hey, this has all happened before. The Republicans screw up. The Democrats get back in control and clean up the mess. The Republicans managed to get everyone to forget they created the mess. And then they get back in power and create another mess. Go figure. Mr. Logan is miming his exasperation that Republicans create a mess, the Democrats clean it up, and then the Republicans create a mess again! No! They create a mess again. No! No! Listen to this news story. Baghdad is drowning in sewage, thirsty for water and largely powerless. Sewage is forming a foul lake so large it can be seen as a big black spot on Google Earth. Oh my God! Sewage in Baghdad is forming a foul lake so large it can be seen as a big black spot on Google Earth. And now, Austin's beloved Perry Logan sings Baghdad is Drowning in Sewage. Cruel show.
I'm quite sure that had the Republicans been able to hold on to their Reich for more than a piddling 6 years,
we would all be drowning in sewage, okay?
we would all be drowning in sewage, okay.